Hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of ISS EDtalks. We're glad you're here today. We have a very special edition and a very special guest with us today. Miss Brooke McCurdy is the Iredell-Statesville Schools Teacher of the Year, and we are excited for you to meet her and hear about some of the great things that she has going on in her classroom at CCTL, which is one of our two early colleges. Brooke, welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being selected our Teacher of the Year. We have 1,400 teachers across our school system, and you're number one, so that is quite an honor.
Yes, it was definitely an honor. Thank you.
Well, tell me a little bit about your career and how you got into education and how you came to Iredell County.
Well, I was actually inspired by a former teacher of mine, my chemistry teacher, to become a teacher. I really enjoyed her class and thought she had a wonderful teaching style and was very relatable. So I myself went into teaching. I worked for 11 years in Pennsylvania, teaching all ranges of mathematics at the high school level. And then I got married, and my husband lived in North Carolina, so I moved down here and looked for a job and found CCTL, and I couldn't be happier with my choice.
Yeah. Now, you've taught in a traditional school,
Yes.
and now you're at the early college.
Yes.
What's the big difference in your approach and how you engage your students?
One of the biggest differences is the incorporation of technology. We are one-to-one laptops, and we use them all day, every day. So at the traditional level, it was just only when I could fit it in, and we only had a cart full of laptops at the time when I was teaching. So it was very minimal. So I definitely had to make the transition to being able to use them every day in the mathematics classroom. So now at CCTL, all of my students use the laptops every day through Google Docs or through different technology tools that are specific to the content in the math classroom. So they're pretty used to coming in and just getting their laptop out and getting to work and collaborating with each other through those Google Docs and other avenues that we have.
And this generation of students, I would say, probably prefer digital learning. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree. Even when I try to do something on paper, they would rather have it electronically. So it's just easier, and they enjoy it more if we do everything electronically in the classroom.
CCTL was our first pilot school that we did probably 5 years ago for digital learning and the use of devices. So you guys are certainly ahead of the curve. The rest of the school system is working very hard to catch up with you folks, but y'all have been our guinea pigs, and you've done an excellent job there too.
Thank you.
And we hope that we will be able to keep that initiative going for many, many years to come. It certainly has had an impact on your school. Your graduation rate is 100%.
Yes.
And so you're going to be recognized in a few weeks there in Raleigh for that outstanding performance. You guys also do something at your school that's just a little bit different. There's just a personal touch.
Yes.
With your students. I attended an event a couple of weeks ago there on your campus. I think you call it, what was the name of that program where I met you? And
Oh, we have a full house.
Full
Yes.
house.
Full house.
Full house.
Twice a month, we get all the students together, and it's not really an assembly, it's more to share and celebrate
Yeah.
student work. So projects, videos that they've created, celebrations of any nature. It's really positive, and the students feel appreciated, and they get to share all the wonderful things that they're doing. So it's really nice.
Yeah, the day I dropped by, it was a very celebratory
Yes.
feel in the air. You were recognizing students and presenting them with certificates of merit and things of
Yes.
that nature.
Yes.
But the students that I interacted with there that day tell me that one of the things that makes the school so different is they feel so appreciated by their teachers, and they feel like they have great relationships with all of their teachers. So as a faculty there, that's something that you folks concentrate on.
Yes.
Is that right? Building
Definitely.
relationships with your
Definitely.
children.
And even when we're doing things in the classroom, or let's say I'm creating a new project, I will ask the students for their input about what they think, how the project should be delivered, maybe the grading system, how they feel would be fair. And I take that input and kind of put that together for a rubric through the assignment, etc. So they really feel invested in everything that we do, because we do really ask for their input and value it.
Yeah, an old principal told me when I was a young teacher many, many years ago, kids don't care what you know until they know you care.
Yes.
And so that is one of the secrets to being a great teacher, I think, is to build those relationships with your children.
Yeah, they're very important, definitely.
Yeah. Now, you've got a big event coming up here in a couple of
do.
weeks. As our Teacher of the Year, you're going to be representing all 1,400 of our teachers in Beijing, China.
Yes.
And so that is a new initiative that we're working on in our school system. We're taking internationalism very, very seriously here, and we do want our students to know that we live in a flat world today, and that our students must be competitive. They must be position themselves to be in a place so that they can be competitive on an international basis. And so you will be going with a small delegation there to deliver an invitation to one of our sister schools now, Beijing number 4.
Yes.
And so congratulations to you, and thank you for representing us. Have you traveled abroad before?
I have. My husband and I do travel abroad for vacations usually, and he travels for work. So if it happens to be when I'm off in July, I get to go with him.
Yeah.
So I am pretty comfortable with traveling internationally, and I'm looking forward to this trip. I've never been to China, so this is a first for me.
Good.
So I'm ready, and I'm interested to meet all of the students that will be studying with us and meeting their parents and kind of preparing for them to come be in our schools.
Yeah, we're expecting about 200 students
Wow.
here in February.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that group, they will be here for approximately 3 weeks, visiting all 7 of our high schools.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will select about 100 of those students to return next August for a year-long experience. So we're hoping that some of those students will land on the campus of CCTL as
Definitely.
well.
We would definitely welcome them there and would be excited to have them.
Yes. Well, let's talk about the teaching profession in general. You know, a lot's happened over the last few years here in North Carolina, and some folks would say that despite the efforts of the General Assembly to raise teacher pay and whatnot, that we still have a pretty tough climate for the profession in North Carolina. And unfortunately, we're seeing the number of young people that are going into the profession diminishing. You got any thoughts or reflections on that?
I do, because I've actually answered this question to a few people since I have taught in Pennsylvania and taught here. I will say that, you know, we talked about teacher salary. There is definitely a difference here, but I always say that we have more resources here, I feel, and I feel like we're supported more here. I never was in a school that had one-to-one laptops when I taught in Pennsylvania, so I came here and that was already in the schools. I feel like we are given more opportunities for new resources or new technology in this school district than I had at my prior job. So I feel like we're ahead of the game in that aspect. So it really is a nice place to work. I enjoy what I have available to teach, especially at CCTL, but I really enjoy it, and I feel like I have more available to me and my students than I did in a different state. So I think it's a good thing in that aspect for sure.
Well, good. Now, in the field of math, of course, lots of math folks are pulled in different directions. There's so many career opportunities for math majors. Engineering is one of those, and so the thing that I struggle with is talking to these young kids, and you know, you've got a young student who's thinking about a math career, and they're looking at coming into the classroom versus, you know, going to work in the private sector. And unfortunately, they can double their starting salary in the private sector. So what message do you have for a young person who is thinking about this as a career, but the tug of making more money and having a glamorous career as an electrical engineer, what draws you to the profession of teaching, and knowing that you're going to take less salary, and what's the magic that would make a young person make that career choice?
For me, it came out of tutoring. I had tutored through college for other students who were math majors that needed help. So through that, I got to see how rewarding helping someone understand math concepts would be, and I really enjoyed that. So for a person coming out with a math major, my thoughts for them would be, see how wonderful it is to be able to help someone understand these things that you know. You know, being able to get them to enjoy mathematics and see it as something that's interesting and somewhat artistic is such a joy, and that's kind of what drew me into the field of teaching with math. So I think that young people would be more interested in the helping others aspect, especially since helping others is such a big thing in society today. So I really think that's kind of where the focus needs to be, and not on the salary, because obviously we don't teach for the money, we teach to help others.
Right. Is there anything that policymakers, members of the General Assembly, county commissioners, school board members, is there anything that they can concentrate on, in your view, that would make your job easier and support you more in the classroom?
I think that just trusting that we are there for the better good of the students. I know that a lot of times in the media, they make teachers out to be this untrusting profession, where the majority of us are actually trustworthy and have the student's best interests at heart. So I think when we come to the board saying these are things we really need for the school, and I promise it is, going to help our students, trying to get that trust back would be the biggest thing that I think would be helpful, because honestly, we really do know what our students need. We're there every day with them. So I'm trying to get that message across, and I really do try in the community. When people ask me and say negative things about teachers, I honestly do say that that's the minority. The majority really does care.
Absolutely.
So just earning that trust back, I think, is one of the biggest things that we can do.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, Brooke, thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have this conversation with you. Thank you so much for representing our school system this year, and good luck on your trip to China. We'll get you back in when you come back from China, and you will have the opportunity while you're there to visit several schools.
Yes.
And so I think you're going to bring back some valuable information and share those experiences with us too. One of the things that I'm hoping that we learn in sending teachers and students to China is really how good we've got it here. Mm-hmm. The school that you're going to be visiting there, believe it or not, has 35,000 students. Wow. One school.
Wow.
They run 3 shifts a day, 24 hours a day. So it's just a world of difference. Yes. And I think that we can, as a district, gain a lot by studying other cultures. Mm-hmm. But again, thank you for being here, and thank you for being an ambassador for all of our teachers in Iredell-Statesville schools.
Thank you very much.
And thank you again for tuning in today and getting to know our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Brooke McCurdy at CCTL. And we hope that you tune in for other episodes. Thank you and have a good day.